All right, welcome back to Technique Tuesday. So today we're going to talk about the specifics between a tango dance position and maybe other dance positions you'd use in maybe like waltz or foxtrot. So the biggest difference that we have between let's say the other smooth dances first, never mind even like the other rhythm ones, but like waltz and foxtrot we set up with a slightly larger frame, right? Where the hand's in the top of the shoulder blade, her hand's in the front of my shoulder. So it's a little bit larger and we have more space. But when we do a dance like tango, we actually adjust a few things here to make it slightly more advantageous for the dance, right? Because tango is sharper and it's quicker, right? Where waltz and foxtrot float much more around the floor, so we can change some things to make it easier for us. So the first thing I change is me with my right hand. In waltz, I was here just on just below the shoulder blade. In tango, I start to bring it in more, so my fingertips are just across the spine, and I turn my hand down a little bit. So you can see my fingertips just across the spine here and pointed slightly down. So it gets my wrist and my arm up into hers a little bit more here as well. So what that did is it actually brought me slightly closer to her with this right hand. And then you can see with her left hand now, she's gonna use, it's like the webbing, I would say, between the thumb and the pointer finger. That's gonna go underneath my arm here. And the feeling for her is that she's trying to scoop up my arm. And so she kind of like picks up my arm a little bit, and this gives us a slightly tighter hold. It doesn't really matter if we're closer or farther away from each other in terms of like a better or worse dance position. This is just the two things that you could change, because I feel like typically, especially for the follower, she like kind of maybe knows to put the hand underneath or not, but like that's a big change. But for the guy too, he has to also make an adjustment. And I feel like a lot of leaders forget that they have to make an adjustment as well in tango by being slightly closer and more round in my right hand in the frame, and then her kind of scooping me up here. So we have more connection. So now when we do things like going to promenade and the position is much sharper and faster than it would be in waltz or foxtrot, this hopefully sets you up in a much better way.
So one question that we've been getting often is, where is the head position, specifically in tango? So we'll talk about it in this position first, and we'll do like other positions later on. So in our closed tango position, the lady is gonna be up and off to the left. So try not to break your neck, try not to do anything. We just wanna stand nice and tall and have it going up and over here. So we're gonna keep it here anytime we're in our closed dance position. And Chris, you wanna talk about yours?
Yeah, I'm up and to the left too, that we're always kind of looking over our partner's right shoulder here in this offset dance position. And that question too could probably be relating to people, other kinds of tango dances. So the one we're dancing right now is American or international standard or smooth tango, right? In terms of the dance position in the whole.
Yeah.
Where there's also Argentine tango, which is incredibly popular.
Very different.
Very different style of tango where the patterns are very different and the way we hold ourselves is also very different. So if you're thinking of much more stereotypical like Argentine tango, you're thinking of this much more intimate, small hold here where you could be looking down at each other and whatnot. But the other styles of tango that we're kind of introducing here, we hold each other a little bit more formally.
So one more thing I just want to expand on is a lot of people were asking, like maybe because of the other styles of tango or the idea of tango being like a passionate dance, which it still is a passionate dance regardless of the style, it's just very different. So the American tango and international tango actually travel around the floor quite a lot, like around the edges, where the Argentine tango does travel, but it's a little bit different structural-wise. It's not any rhyme or reason. It doesn't have to continue around to the left. So one of the reasons why we actually have our head off to the left instead of looking at each other, never mind good technique and left alignment, which we'll talk about in a second really quick, just to remind you, but also the leader is gonna be the one responsible for leading the follower around the floor because she's backing the line of dance most of the time in tango, especially in the beginner steps. If you're not in promenade, if you're in closed hold, as a follower, you're pretty much going backwards. So in that case, if the leader were looking at me, I'm not gonna have anybody to look out for me. And I'm gonna crash into things and he's not gonna know where he's going. So that is just an easy way to kind of understand why you're gonna be looking off to the left. And then the follower, you can think about it like she's like, huh, like I hate you, I love you kind of feeling that people think about in the passionate tango. Just to get into the character, because I know some people were asking about that specifically. But that leads to left alignment, which we've talked about many times in every single closed hold, really. So that means that we're not gonna be dancing straight in front of one another. That means we're gonna be slightly off to the left, both of us. So we have 4 different tracks instead of just 2 tracks. And now we're gonna be looking off to the left. This is gonna help us maintain it, and also for the reasons I've already talked about, but this is our basic tango hold. A lot of people ask, isn't it supposed to be really close? And it can be. at a more advanced level. However, in the beginning, just because a lot of times it takes a lot of time to build up the frame, the connection, and our own posture and body weight to really maintain this like body contact together. So it's not that you cannot do it or that you shouldn't do it, it's just that at a beginner level, just to not step on each other and be able to successfully dance the steps, it does help having a little bit more space. And even without wrapping around, you could even start in a more waltz hold like this.
You can always do this at the beginning too.
That way you can kind of push away followers. We'll link our basic closed dance position video, and we'll probably do some new ones soon. But that way you can keep your own space and not get stepped on, and also follow his lead if you're just doing socially.
And even if you were to change to this tango hold, it doesn't mean we have to get literally much closer together or that we have to be in contact dance position, right?
It naturally will bring you closer, like you said, but it doesn't mean we have to be like this.
No, exactly. And we'll have much more advanced, like pro level, technique videos in our pro section, on this kind of like difference between contact dance position and having more space.
Yeah. But for now, this is to get you started in the tango dance. If you're just finding this video and you haven't checked out all of our tango videos, I'm gonna link it down below. We have our first 3 patterns free up here for you, and then the rest of our patterns are on our website. So be sure to check that out if you're interested. And like this video if you did, and comment down below what you wanna see next, and we'll see you again very soon.